As a gentleman from California, Mr. Carbajal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It shouldn't come as no surprise that I have serious concerns with both the deployment of the National Guard and the Marines to Los Angeles. I served in the Marine Corps. We are trained to be war fighters, not for crowd control. Everyone here should be alarmed that the President has sent armed forces into a city against the wishes of a governor and mayor. I am concerned this administration is purposely escalating the situation with this step and politicizing our armed forces in the process. Let's call it for what it is. It's political theater. Hexeth, are the Marines in Los Angeles ordered to protect property by any means necessary?
Welcome back, Patriots, to another episode of the Constitution Corner, your home for truth, accountability, and unapologetic American values. If you're sick and tired of the mainstream media spinning everything in favor of the left, this is the place for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the hypocrisy and power plays happening right under our noses in Washington, D.C.
Sir, I would say the ICE officers and police officers being attacked is not political theater. The National Guard and Marines,
just yes or no. Just yes or no.
The National Guard and Marines have the full authority to protect federal ICE agents.
Yes or no. Can you just say yes or no? This isn't Fox anymore. Just yes or no.
They're there to protect federal agents and federal.
Another BS answer. Under the SRUF, the use of force, are Marines allowed to fire warning shots?
No.
Now that's more like it. Isn't that easy? Well, I'm going to beat this drum because you refuse to take responsibility. Will you take responsibility for having made a mistake? Not to mention many people would say break the law in participating in the Signal group chat that included a journalist, your wife, your brother, where classified information was shared.
Sir, every way I communicate is authorized.
Okay, if you want to say that. I have called for your resignation. I didn't think you were qualified before your confirmation, and you have done nothing to inspire confidence in your ability to lead competently. You broke the law in sharing classified information, and in doing so, endangered the lives of our service members that you are responsible for. Your inability to hold yourself accountable makes you incapable to lead. This alone makes you unfit to be the Secretary of Defense. Secretary, do you think the United States should continue supporting Ukraine in its fight against Russia, a nation that is hostile towards the United States?
Well, as you know, sir, President Trump is committed to peace.
No, I just want yes or no answers.
Today, the United States has spent billions of dollars.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Over years.
Just yes or no. Can I get a yes or no out of you?
We continue to send.
Come on.
Presidential drawdown.
It's that easy. Kindergartners can give me a yes or no. Yes or no.
Yes, we support peace in Ukraine.
Come on. Is this really leadership? You're an embarrassment to the United States. If Russia invades NATO allies, are you going to recommend to the president that we fulfill our Article 5 obligations?
Well, Russia has not invaded NATO allies.
No.
President Trump
No. I reclaim my time. Yes or no? It's that simple.
There's Article 5 in NATO, which we recognize.
So is the answer yes or no?
That's what Article 5 is, yes.
Good. I'm glad you brought yourself to saying yes. Do you think political allegiance to Trump is a requirement for serving our nation, either in uniform or a civilian in the department?
I'm incredibly proud, as are millions of Americans.
No. Not today, Seth. Yes or no?
Congressman, you know what a silly question that is.
But silly enough to warrant a very straightforward answer. Yes or no?
We all support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
You know what? I'm not going to waste my time anymore. You're not worthy of my attention or my questions. You're an embarrassment to this country. You're unfit to lead. and there's been bipartisan members of Congress that have called for your resignation. You should just get the hell out and let somebody competently lead this department.
Mr. Chairman, do we not have any decorum in here?
Thank you very much. I yield my time.
Gentleman yields back, and I would urge everybody to remember and maintain a decorum suitable for this chamber with their further comments.
Today we're reacting to one of the most disgraceful displays of partisan grandstanding we've seen in a while. Congressman Salud Carbajal from California, a Democrat, launched an all-out personal attack on the Secretary of Defense in a hearing that was supposed to be about national security and deployment policy. Instead of engaging in a constructive conversation, Carbajal decided to turn the whole hearing into a shouting match of yes or no questions, political theater, and outright disrespect. Let's unpack what's really going on here. First off, the congressman had the nerve to call the deployment of Marines and the National Guard to Los Angeles political theater. As a Marine himself, he should know better. These brave men and women are not being used as props. They are protecting federal personnel and property. When ICE officers and federal agents are under threat in American cities, it is the duty of our government to defend them. Full stop. Yet Carbajal would rather turn this into a partisan show trial than acknowledge that cities like Los Angeles have been plagued with rising crime and lawlessness, thanks in no small part to the policies of Democrat mayors and governors who tie the hands of law enforcement and demonize federal intervention. Carbajal also pressed the secretary with gotcha questions about the use of force, warning shots, and whether Marines are allowed to fire them. The secretary gave a direct answer, no, but of course that wasn't enough. Carbajal wasn't interested in the truth. He was interested in optics and sound bites he could clip for social media. And let's not ignore the baseless allegations about classified information being shared in a Signal group chat. It was nothing more than character assassination, pure and simple. This is the left's playbook: attack, distract, and destroy. They can't debate on policy because their policies are failing. So instead, they try to smear anyone aligned with President Trump or constitutional principles. Then we saw the classic Ukraine baiting. Yes or no questions with zero room for nuance. Should we continue funding Ukraine? Should we invoke NATO's Article 5 if Russia invades? These are complicated national security matters, not kindergarten quizzes. But again, the congressman wasn't interested in real answers. He was only interested in making the secretary look weak for political gain. And then the most insulting question of all, is allegiance to Trump required to serve this country? That is a slap in the face to every patriot who has ever worn the uniform or served in a civilian role. No, loyalty to Trump isn't required, but loyalty to the Constitution, to law and order, and to national sovereignty is. And that's exactly what this administration stands for. This was an oversight. This was an ambush. And it shows just how far the radical left is willing to go to undermine those working to restore peace, security, and sanity in this nation. So here's my take, folks. This hearing is exactly why Americans are fed up. The Democrats don't want solutions. They want power. They weaponize every hearing, every deployment, and every policy decision to score points with their base instead of doing what's right for the American people. We must stand up for our military, for our federal officers, and for those in Washington who are trying to do the right thing in the face of constant, coordinated left-wing attacks. It's time we call out this charade for what it is, an assault on patriotism, on security, and on leadership. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with every freedom-loving American you know. Stand tall, speak truth, and defend the Constitution. We are the Constitution Corner, where Americans' root guides its future. Until next time, stand strong, speak truth, and may God bless the United States of America.